Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, we are doing a series with my good friend Dr. Jason Crean where we are debunking parrot food myths and answering some of the most commonly asked parrot nutrition questions. So really excited to dive in. There's going to be lots of videos like this, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of them. But Jason, for anyone who's unfamiliar with you, would you mind just introducing yourself for everyone?
Sure. My name's Jason Crean. I am an aviculturist. I've had birds since I was 12, and that was a very, very long time ago. And I have been interested in animal nutrition so much so that that's really what drove me to become a biologist. I currently teach biology topics at the university level. I teach courses in animal nutrition, zoo biology, evolutionary biology, to name a few. And I love talking about bird food.
Awesome. Well, with that in mind, let's dive straight in. So today's chat is quite exciting because we're talking about avian tea. This is something that is very valuable to offer your bird, but you may be unfamiliar as to why it's useful to do in the first place and what benefits are. So I'm going to hand over to Jason, the tea expert, for all things avian tea, to kind of chat about why we should be offering it, what kinds, and what we should be doing with it as well.
So tea is a natural thing because our animals are consuming that in the wild. There's no such thing as a Brita filter in the wild. They're drinking from rain catches, from puddles, from bodies of water that are rich in tannins and plant components that are leaching all kinds of compounds. Now, what we see in managed situations like zoos, for example, is that some species are more prone to certain issues, health issues, if they're not getting tea. So you look at things like lemurs, who typically are drinking from rain catches up in the trees and things like that. You look at rhinoceros. I just got contacted by a zoo yesterday, as a matter of fact, who are like looking for a tea regimen for rhinoceros because they drink from puddles that are full of clays and things like that, that are normally keeping the iron from being stored in the liver. And when these animals that are prone to iron storage disease, which includes toucans and lories and lorikeets and myna birds and starlings, and then you look at other animals like lemurs and rhinos, like I mentioned, you start to see these problems. So I first got started in tea with Dr. Karen Becker, one of the most followed veterinarians in the world on social media right now. And she brought this and said, oh, well, I interned at European zoos and they were using teas for a variety of all their species. So all of these different species had these. They were soaking tortoises in teas once a week. They were rolling tea into the hay of the rhinoceros and giving all of their toucans and hornbills and things like that tea to drink every day. So I started to look into this because I was breeding arsaries, which are the smallest toucans, and I had a bird show up with iron storage disease. And so after she treated the bird, we put her on a tea regimen, and we kept her alive 3.5 years beyond her diagnosis, which is unheard of because usually they're gone. They die within a few months of their diagnosis. And so that being said, we saw this amazing difference, and we started to look into what other plant components can we use to incorporate into drinking water so that our animals can have even more benefits. So decaffeinated black and decaffeinated green tea, I mean, the research is very clear. There's tons of scientific research that show all of these benefits. Why can't we pass those on to our animals? Makes a whole lot of sense. But then you look at things like calendula flowers, which are high in beta carotenes, as well as a great wound healer, because now there's over-the-counter products that use calendula extract for people, where you can put it on wounds and it helps speed wound healing. Chamomile and lavender are flowers that are very calming. We know this. My 93-year-old grandmother knew this. It's saying, chamomile, it cures everything. But now we know why, because it's been studied, and the compounds in the flower tell us that it helps calm nervous tissue, which in turn can help calm digestion, because those two systems everybody knows are pretty connected. And just the smell of lavender tea is enough often, and can be very calming to birds. And I have clients who say just putting some chamomile flowers in the bottom of my bird's cage has helped calm them down, like they're noticeably calmer, and that's the only thing we've changed. So that's all science. Science has established what compounds are in these plant components that show us what the benefits are, what the results are on animal physiology. So there's different types of flowers that have benefits. The camellia plant has caffeine, so you have to make sure that what you're offering is organically decaffeinated. Organically decaffeinated means that it's considered organic, and that means that they didn't use chemicals to remove the caffeine. They did water or carbon dioxide. And so that's important too. But the effects on cardiovascular health, by offering something like decaffeinated black tea and green tea, just a whole host of benefits. It increases fat expenditure, fat oxidation. So green tea's well known for helping lose weight and things like that. Helps liver, support the liver. Just a host of different things. So why not? Why not try to get some benefit into the water when you're already working on the food?
Definitely. And there are some things that you can offer kind of on their own, like the chamomile. If you want to just offer a little chamomile tea, that's fine. Tulsi or holy basil, we offered that to Kipling, our crimson belly conure, who came to us as a plucker, and that had a huge impact on reducing his stress, because it helps the body to naturally process stress. It's a natural anti-anxiety and antidepressant. There's lots of other things that you can offer kind of on their own, but often these different plants and flowers work best blended together. And that's why today I want to talk about Jason's business, which is Biodiversity Bird Blends, because I know he's not going to bring it up himself. So I'm going to do it because I want you to talk about your amazing teas and what different blends you offer and things like that, because sometimes having plants come together in a blended specific way helps them to kind of do their best work.
Yeah, and I always think of birds that are plucking because we've seen such a remarkable turnaround on birds that are pluckers when we combine these things. Um, I avoid tea bags because you don't truly know what's inside of that tea bag. It's ground. And we have found that tea bags are also treated. So if you want to know what you're offering your bird, you get whole flower, whole leaf tea. So you can see the ingredient, you can see it. And then you're brewing that in something like a stainless steel steeper. So that's important. I have been formulating teas for other businesses, particularly around birds, for a long time. And the major distributor here in the United States closed their doors last year. So we decided to start our own. I didn't want another job. I didn't want to start a business, but it kind of grew out of necessity because people were coming to me like, what should I do? What should I do? And that's difficult. So I finally started our Biodiversity Bird Blends.com. It's biobirdblends.com last year, and formulated teas based on what I have learned from formulating over the years and really improving upon each formulation. And we have 7 teas that we currently have, and then we use some of these for foraging. We have a flower forage and a green forage, which is a lot of herbs. The latter is a lot of herbs. The previous one's obviously a bunch of flowers. And all of these, each individual ingredient has benefits. We use Tulsi quite a bit, like you said, and Tulsi helps with stress because it has compounds that are adaptogenic. So they help the nervous system transition. So if you're traveling with your bird, honestly, Tulsi is just good as a regular thing so that your bird is a little bit more mellow when it comes to stress and things like that. But yeah, we started that last year. It's been really overwhelmingly successful, really exciting to see people take this up as yet one other way to get their birds thriving over just surviving in their cage.
Definitely. And we're so proud of you for what you've achieved so far. And guys, if you are interested in learning more, all the links are going to be down in the description. But Jason, when it comes to tea, should we be feeding or offering tea to drink every day? How should we present it? Can they have like the actual herbs and flowers from it? How should we be kind of presenting it to our birds?
So I typically offer tea instead of water in the morning when they have their fresh foods. And then when I pull in the evening, when I pull whatever fresh food is left, I pull the tea and then give them fresh water. And so they have fresh water part of the day. Now, there are a lot of different ways to do this, and all of them have been successful. I have never seen any harm come to any animal as a result. But things like some zoos will offer their toucans, for example, they'll offer tea as the only water source for a whole month. And then they'll do a month off with just water. And then the next month, so a month on, a month off, back and forth. And that's because they want to make sure these birds are taking in the tannins. Now, whatever you brew, you can feed. So after I tend to cold brew things because heat can destroy more nutrients than we would like. So I tend to cold brew by throwing a handful of the tea in a pitcher of cool, clean water, letting it sit on the counter or in the refrigerator overnight, and let it slow steep just over the course of the day. And then I will strain off the solids and mix it with their sprouts, for example, in the morning, so they can consume that. So I don't waste a whole lot of things. There's plenty of ways to feed this to your bird, but they really do get the benefit from brewing. That releases compounds that aren't maybe not as accessible in the whole plant part. So we tend to focus on that. So I tend to offer tea with their fresh food in the morning, and then they have clear, clean water at night with their dry food.
Cool. And if you're worried that your bird isn't going to drink it, you can have it a bit more diluted to start off with, because again, some birds can be a little bit suspicious of different colored liquids and stuff, especially if they aren't as desensitized to new things. You can make it into a game with your bird. You can have the tea and pretend they're not allowed it, and they can come and drink it with you, and you can have a bonding experience like that. But tea just has so many amazing benefits for your bird. Never serve it boiling hot either. As Jason said, cold brewing is the best option. But as we said, the links are going to be down in the description for Biodiversity Bird Blends, so you can go and check those out and support Jason as well, because he's a good human being and he deserves his business to thrive. So yeah, go
Well,
check those out.
I feel the same way about you both. So thank you.
So yeah, tea is awesome. That is the scoop for this video today. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Jason, where can people find out more about you and what you're up to at the moment?
So I have social media channels, Dr. Jason Crean on Instagram, which is Dr. Jason Crean, Crean, on Instagram, as well as Biodiversity Bird Blends, both there and on Facebook. And then if you search Avian Raw on Facebook, that'll come up with my group, Avian Raw Whole Food Nutrition, 21,000 plus members strong.
Including the both of us. So awesome. So all the links are going to be down in the description for you to check out. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the future videos like this. But thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you later.